Hello everyone, I'm here today with Mike Brett, CIO of Hearing Australia, and audiologist Jacqui Peck. We've worked together on a highly innovative and high impact solution to help improve hearing outcomes amongst Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children. Many of these children have ear and hearing problems, and early testing by Hearing Australia of course helps support early intervention, preventing many problems down the track. Jacqui's developed an application using Power Apps that is having a significant impact in streamlining processes, helping with data collection, improving accessibility, and enhancing health outcomes generally. Mike and Jacqui, thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing your story with us today. Jacqui, can you outline some of the challenges that you were having that eventually led to you designing this Power App?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Mark. So Hearing Australia runs the HAPEE program, which is the hearing assessment program early years, and we certainly do hearing assessments on Aboriginal children and Torres Strait Islander children aged 0 to 6. And we also build capability of the community themselves so that they can test and monitor ear health, as well as building awareness in the communities. And so one of the things that I found was that we had a lot of support for recording clinical outcomes, so test results, those types of things, but we didn't have any support for all of the business processes and all of the new information HAPEE was gathering around the awareness raising and the capability. And so we were trying to use things like Word document and Excel spreadsheets, but we found that we were getting a lot of duplication, not only in work processes, but we were getting duplications in the actual documents themselves. And we also found that it was very labour intensive and the information was getting out of date really quickly. And so I knew that there just had to be a better way.
Amazing, Jacqui. And Mike, I guess you've been working with Microsoft Technologies and on modernisation using our 3 clouds for quite some time. So I guess you had the digital foundations in place already to develop the Power App for the HAPEE program. Would you mind just sharing some of the details there?
Yeah, that's right, Mark. So we were quite fortunate that we had started our modernisation journey and transitioning to the Microsoft Cloud technologies. And so we got through the pandemic, in particular lockdown, in pretty good state. One of the side benefits was we introduced Power Apps into our ecosystem. And that's where Jacqui came in, she discovered it, and she has now pioneered citizen development as a new way of working inside Hearing Australia. And what we're seeing is it really does start to empower our people to solve their problems rather than relying on IT to do it as well. And it just means that they're able to prototype and develop how they like the application to work, and then we can embed it back into our core systems and use it across the enterprise. So for us, it really is a new way of working. It's really exciting.
It's great to hear. So Jacqui, as a citizen developer, as Mike called it, being an audiologist and not a programmer, how difficult was it to get up to running and develop that?
I actually think it was surprisingly easy. A lot of hard work, definitely. Learning a new skill means that you need to have a lot of ambition and courage to take the first step. So for me, one of the first things I did was watch a lot of YouTube and signed into, I remember I watched a webinar and I thought, I reckon I could give this a go. And so I signed into make.powerapps.com, and from there I was taken into the Hearing Australia default environment, where I basically created my first Canvas app using Excel as a data source. And I really don't have any IT or programming experience at all. And I always have evidence of this because I didn't even know how to put data into a table in Excel. And you need to be able to have that skill to even run a Power App. And so I remember I did that, and I made a change in the Canvas app, and I saw that change populate immediately in the Excel spreadsheet, and I thought, this is our solution. This means that we're going to have the most up-to-date information at our fingertips. And so from there, I could see in the Hearing Australia default environment, I could see other people who were building apps. I actually saw Mike Brett's name there, and I also saw one of the other developers. So through Teams, I reached out to Uma and just asked him if he could give me a few tips and tricks on how to use the Microsoft Power Apps, and he gave me access to the Dataverse. And that's when I was able to build my first model-driven app, and that was a real game changer, because now not only did we have a solution for the audiologists, but we also had a solution for our community engagement officers. And they're the ones that set up the relationship and foster the relationship with the communities that allow us audiologists to go in. And so they are the ones that do a lot of our information capturing. And so the most exciting thing, I think, is it's about being able to have a solution for the audiologists as well as the engagement officers, and it's really an application that is built by HAPEE for HAPEE, and to me that's really important.
Great story, Jacqui. And Mike, from your point of view, obviously a great example of having the right technology in front of the right person at the right time. How is this shaping some of the decisions that you're going to make for Hearing Australia going forward?
Mike, look, I can see a future where we will use Jacqui as a role model and get a lot more of this user-led innovation. We're a small IT team here, and the benefit of getting developers across the organisation would be fantastic. I think we're quite lucky with the technology we've chosen, the fact that we now have these 3 clouds that we can integrate and make that data, as Jacqui said, available to who needs to use it at the time they need to use it. So I think that's a great opportunity for us. Obviously, we'd like to be able at some point expose this data out to communities that can actually update it for us without us having to do it. So we are up to date with everything we need. And I just think it's a great story around using technology to benefit the citizens of Australia.
Absolutely, and what a role model Jacqui is. Thanks so much. It really is a fantastic example of what's possible when you have empowered people, an accurate supply of data, and the right digital foundations in place. So again, Jacqui and Mike, thank you so much for sharing your story today. Absolute privilege to be working with Hearing Australia, and thanks for your time.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.